Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC and another edition of TNFNU, thoughts and feelings and updates. Hope you guys are having a great week. I have something I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's been something that's been kind of bothering me and something that I've been wanting to talk to for a while, and then I got into a conversation with somebody and it kind of sparked this idea again. And it's something that I've talked about many times before, but I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it again. And people have come up to me several times and they question the steels that I use. And I try to be fair, I try to be honest with everybody with what I'm doing. And some of the comments, or one of the comments this time was, you know, the steels that you're working with now are okay, but you should probably be working with these other steels more often, because at some point in time, the steels that you're working with are going to become antiquated and drop down, and nobody will care about them anymore, etc., etc. And I really take issue with that for a couple of reasons. Number one, the steels that I use are tried and true steels. They've been around for a very long time. And their reason is because they're really good. There's many makers who are using those steels on a regular basis. And there are still makers to this day who are using 1095 and 440C. I befriended a maker, old-time maker, probably been making longer than I've been alive, and he's dead set that 440C is all he'll ever work with. And it has just become a trend. But there's also a difference. There's the production world and then the custom world. And when it comes to steel, I really feel like those two things are far apart. Yes, in the production world, everybody's coming up with the brand new steel, with the magnacuts and the LMAX and whatever. I don't even know, Vanax, and I don't know. There's all these other things that have come up lately that I've never even heard of. I can't keep track. I don't want to keep track. It's too much for me to try to keep track of steels, let alone a new knife that comes out that I might be interested in. So when these production companies are coming out with steels, or new steel comes out, they can push it like crazy. And then somebody can look at me and be like, you're only using ADC every two. I've never even heard of that steel. But that steel's been around forever, and there's a lot of makers who are like, I love that steel. Same with AEB. It's a tried and true steel. And I pick those steels to work with because, number one, they're easy to get. Number two, they're not very pricey. Number three, it allows me to keep my prices at a reasonable rate for you. If I start using magnacut and LMAX on a regular basis, well, that added cost turns around and has to be added to you. It's not a cheap steel versus those steels that I'm getting. And when I did a little math, and it's very substantial, plus all the abrasives that it takes to work with those steels, or the saw blades it takes to work with those steels, or the drill bits that take to work with those steels. These are all things that have to be taken into consideration. It's not just magnacut is great, always use magnacut. Well, yeah. And I've seen makers doing stuff with magnacut, and they're like, I have to charge you more because just the amount of abrasives that they have to go through just to shape the blade. So that's why I use the steels that I use, because they're easy to work, they're fairly cheap for me to get, they're always available, and then I can keep my prices affordable for you guys. So I really work hard, and if it becomes 5-10 years down the road that those steels are horrible and nobody ever wants to buy it, okay, well, maybe I'll move on to something else. But until then, I'm really happy working with what I'm working. They're really great steels, and they hold an edge, and I haven't had any issues. I've had one issue, and I've tried my best to correct that issue, which was magnacut, and I hope that's working for that person. But, you know, it all comes down to the heat treat. It comes down to what you're doing with the blade. I baby my blades, so I'm not going to go hard use any of my knives. That's just not what I do. Right tool for the right job. But you guys might feel differently. But I really do feel like there is a separation between the production side of all these great and wonderful steels versus custom. Yes, there's a lot of custom makers using all of these fancy steels. Maybe I can start using Nitro V. I don't know. I think Nitro V is a great steel. 14C, it's a great steel. Maybe I can start working with one of them. They're not readily available. Every time I try to look at one of them, the size that I want isn't available, or the price is double or triple what I'm paying now, like magnacut is. Which means I have to charge more for that knife. And already I'm raising my prices as it is. But with a custom blade, you're paying for materials, but you're mostly paying for time. You're paying for that custom build. So a production version of one of my blades is going to be pretty different than a custom version of one of my blades. Even though it could be the same, it's going to be different. Whether it's magnacut or 1095, it's going to be different. But I still think they're all going to be heirloom pieces and will probably outlive me. And I've talked about that before, that it's funny to think that I'm producing blades and people are getting my knives, and these knives should outlast me. Whether it's AEB, ADC every 2, 1095, 1084, or magnacut. It's all going to outlive me based on how that person cares for it. Yes, magnacut will probably last a little longer just because of its corrosion resistance, but I guess we will really see. We will really see. I'm not a steel nerd. I don't keep track with all of it. I'm just trying to do my best keeping track of what I do. And I'm really not that great at it. I'm still learning, and I'm still new. I've only been doing it for 3.5 years now, so it really hasn't been that long. So I'm still learning, and I'm still developing what I want. And I just doing what feels right, and I feel like where I'm at right now is a really good place. Do I want to work with more magnacut and some of these other steels? Yeah. I just got that bar of LMAX. And for some reason, every time I get one of these super steels, it's always a thicker stock. It's always a thicker stock. So this is like 5/32. And originally it was that because of the original plan, but the plan has switched. But that, more to come. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Is if you're questioning the steel that I'm using, please keep in mind that it's a custom world, not the production world. And I don't follow all the trendy stuff. Yeah, magnacut is the trendy thing. Everything's coming out magnacut. People are throwing money at it. I don't think it's been around long enough to really know what it is. But that's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. No, not much. So, updates. Let's talk a little bit about updates. Thank you for everybody. The books opened and they closed. And I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was kind of a struggle to get out only because I had to use the laptop, and it wasn't very fun. It took 24 hours to upload that video and get it all edited for you guys. But you guys got to see it, and I wasn't really happy with the video quality. Obviously my phone does a very good job, more so than my laptop, but it got the point across of how fast that went. I think the next time I do it, I have already started creating that Google form, and I think that's going to streamline it. So basically my thought of that is, when I drop the video and you reach out to me, whether it's email or Instagram, then I could be like, congratulations, you're on the books. Please follow this link and fill out this form. Then you can go on there, fill it all out. I get that. I can look at the results. I can look at a spreadsheet of everybody's what they want, and it makes it perfect. Then you guys can send me links in it. You can do everything, and then I don't have to be up all night going back and forth with people, figuring out, okay, what steel, what finish, what handle materials, here's a link for this, here's a link for that. It's not that I mind doing it, but it's going to streamline that, and then I can go to bed nice and then wake up in the morning and see what everybody's picked and then go from there. So the next step is I need to order the materials, which you guys have asked for. And that's always fun too, because depending on the size of the knife, I have to make sure I get the right material for that. Something like a pedal, or recently the spike, I'm gonna want to use a thinner material. I really like the way that spike came out with the thinner material. So some of the materials that people ask for is only available in like 1/4 inch, which is pretty thick. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. So I try to find the materials in a thinner gauge or whatever, but that's on me to figure out, not for you guys to figure out. But something, again, like a pedal, I don't want that handle to be big and bulky. I want it to be perfectly fit in your hand. But it looks weird if I start using some thicker materials. So, but that's on me. That's on me. Other updates. The bud sold, the spike sold, the Tobiko is still available. And somebody reached out and said, yeah, it's the end of the month, nobody has any money. Which may or may not be true. But the Tobiko is still available on my Etsy store, link in the bio. Check it out, it is still available. Awesome little blade, great little package. The magnacut Stigma. If you just saw the video I just posted, then you know that it was ready, and it is now in the middle of being glued up. So that one will be getting done very, very soon. And it's time to start all of my July builds. So I have a bunch of steels sitting right here on the table behind me, and all of that is being ready to be cut out, which I will probably do for this week's live stream. I'll start cutting and shaping and getting all those in a good shape for July. There's only one stainless blade, and it's a cardinal. So the cardinal is going to be sent out for heat treat, and then I will have the other 4 blades to work on. So it's going to be another very, very cool month. I'm looking forward to what you guys have asked for. Like I said in the video, we have a blue, We have 2 spikes, the AEB Cardinal, and boom, a pedal. So I have all of those things to do. So I'm looking forward to getting these done and getting these out to you guys who have asked for it. I really feel like this every other month thing is going to work out pretty good. I feel good about it because at the end of July, if I'm still waiting for that Cardinal to get back, that's okay because I have time. I'm going to put an order in for another group of water jetted blades so that I could do the water jetted blades in August. So they're going to come already looking like this. And then all I have to do is clean these blades up and then do the bevels. And if it's AEB, I can send it out. If it's ADCRV2, I can just finish it up here. So I'm going to try my best to do that. I'm trying to figure out how many I should do. Like if I do a bloom and I order 5 blooms and maybe 3 of them ADCRV2 and 2 of them AEB, and then I do the AEB, I ship those out, then I have the 3 and I work on them, and then the other 2 come back, and then I don't know. I think that's gonna work. And then I have kind of like the 3 ADCRV2 and then the 2 AEBs, and then I got a good influx and good flow going where I'm not feeling overwhelmed and I'm not going crazy trying to get everybody's work done. I like being able to be like, you know what? I don't need to go out in the shop tonight and work for an hour. Or I want to just hang with my wife on the couch. I like being able to do that. But I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I come out here, try to take care of some of the content stuff, maybe do a little filming, then a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and then I go to my job, I work, I come home, I go back out in the shop and I work another hour and a half out there every day. And then on Saturday and Sunday, I'm out there working for at least an hour or 2, maybe 3 hours a day. So it's a lot. It's a lot. The channel is a lot. The knives are a lot, but I do it because I love it. I'm not complaining. This is not me complaining, but it's nice to be able to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go chill. That's great. So to be able to be like, okay, July is going to be crazy getting all this stuff done, and maybe August I can be chill a little bit, could take a couple afternoons off, and I don't feel so rushed. So we got that going for us, don't we? So that's kind of what I have for you guys. I don't really have any other updates, except, no, I don't have any other updates. I'm going to leave it at that. There's something coming. There's something coming. But I have to wait before I announce that. Not ready to announce that yet. There's coals in the fire. Coals in the fire. So anyway, guys, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with the production versus custom world of steels. I also don't get caught up in the fads of this steel and this steel. I mean, I remember when D2 was like, everything was in D2, and I bought a couple knives in D2, and then very quickly you don't even see D2 anymore, and when you do, it's like, budget. That's just a budget. And maybe one day we're going to be looking at magnacut and be like, nah, that's just budget. I don't know. That's why I just want to do what I want to do, make it right, but make it at least somewhat affordable for you guys. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment or not. That choice is yours.